gonna be making lei, and I looked around our yard, and one thing we have a lot of is this right here. A lot of people know it as Spanish moss. The Hawaiian name for it is ʻUmiʻumi or Dole. Start a little bit higher up and just kind of see where it separates. You want to try and keep the strands as long as possible. So you try not to rip it, although it's inevitable. Some of it's gonna definitely rip. And then you can just kind of run your hand along it, give it a little tug, and then some of the strands should loosen. The first thing that I did after I picked it was I tried to separate out individual strands. Some of them have these little offshoots, and that's fine, but you just want to try and untangle them a little bit so you kind of know what your longest pieces are that you're working with. So after I sorted, I had a bunch of single long strands all together, and then I have some smaller short strands, and those will be helpful later too. But what you're gonna do is take sort of this long bunch that you have, and you're going to sort of drape it over your hand like this. And the style of lei that we're gonna be making is, it has a couple of different names depending on who you talk to, but some people call it vili and some people call it hili, and there are probably other names for it still, but basically what we're doing is a double helix. So we're going to be wrapping as if this were one strand and this was a second strand. We're going to be wrapping those around each other, but at the same time, while I'm wrapping this strand to the left, I'm also twisting it to the right. So it's called a double helix. So twist to the right and cross over to the left. Then you take the second strand and twist to the right, not too tight because we want it to have that loose feel, and cross to the left. So you just kind of continue this way. This is the same type of lei as the tea leaf lei that many of us made actually at Punahou. So you're gonna twist and cross and twist. And if you had somebody else, they could hold they could hold one side and make it a little bit easier for you, but you don't want to pull too tight because this material isn't made to be pulled really tight. The way that I like to add it so that it's not sticking out of the side is actually add it to both sides at once and then continue by twisting and crossing, twisting and crossing. Then it kind of fattens up both sides evenly, and you can kind of just continue that way. If you want to add longer strands so you don't have to add as often, that's fine too. You just have to sort the rest of your materials so that you're ready, and then you're going to continue this down until you get the finished length that you desire. I actually get to show you my very first lei that I made of this because it sort of just survives like this, you know. After you wear the lei, I'll show you a little bit later, you can just go put it back on the tree and spray it down with water and it's ready to go for the next time. That's one of the best things that I think I've discovered about this lei. So you can see that there's sort of 1, 2 individual strands, and one is twisted in one direction and then twisted back around the other in the opposite direction. For my lei, I just use a little piece of string to tie it all together. I'm sure you could get fancy and decorate this with maybe a tea leaf bow or a rosette, something that would dry really nicely and stay with the lei, but I just wanted to keep it simple. You can also go back and sort of trim out any straggler pieces that are hanging out and not stuck to your lei, just to kind of clean it up. But again, I think some of the beauty of this lei is its imperfections.